안녕하세요 여러분, 선현우입니다. Hello everybody, Hyunwoo here from talktomeinkorean.com, and this is another look inside video, and this time I am going to be introducing our newest book instead of Stephanie, and this book is called Survival Korean. Please excuse my ugly and dark hands. It's awkward. Anyway, it's subtitled as Survival Korean for Travelers and Expats, Phrases and Tips to Make Your Stay in Korea Easy. That's exactly what the book is supposed to do. And the first thing that I usually do after buying any book from any bookstore is take this dust cover out of the book. But yeah, I will do that. But let me read the phrases written on the cover of our book. First, hundreds of essential words and phrases for surviving in Korea, plus tips for better understanding Korean culture. So this is what the book will do, and it's brought to you by Talk to Me in Korean, of course us, and our good friend Keith Kim from Solistic.com. So we worked together to write this book, and there are about 200 something pages in this book. And just to give you an idea of the size of the book, it's a little bit smaller than our everyday Korean idiomatic expressions book, like you see here, and it's probably the same size. Yes, it is the same size as the Verbs Guide book, and I can cover pretty much most of the book with my hand. And to give you another idea of how big it is or how small it is, it's probably the same width of a dollar bill or a Cheonwon bill. But anyway, that's about the size, and as you can see, it's a purple colored book, and we have some quiz questions on the back cover of the book. Number 1, you're sitting on the toilet in a public bathroom and there is no toilet paper. The person in the next stall hands you a roll. How do you say thank you in Korean? And let me just read another quiz. How about here? Number 4, you went out on a date with someone, and when you are about to pay, you realize that you don't have enough cash. How do you say, I'll pay with my credit card to the cashier? Of course, in Korean. And if you cannot answer maybe all of these questions, you might want to look inside this book and study with this. So let's look inside the book. We have the cover, inside covers, and some nice illustration, and the table of contents. We have 20 different categories of life in Korea, or what you can do here when you're traveling in Korea. So food, transportation, shopping, daily life, and health and career. And before the actual categories start, we have some information on how to use this book, and also some introduction information to the Hangul writing system, because here, even though we have romanization right next to the Hangul writing, we recommend reading the Hangul because that's how you can actually read everything properly, because romanization doesn't do justice to the Hangul sounds. Anyway, so that is a brief introduction to the Hangul rules, and there are also some other types of information on Korean numbers, also other types of info about how to agree or disagree in Korean, some basics to the Korean language. So after you're done with the basic stuff, or if you already know these things, you can get right into the actual contents of the book. So inside the food category, you see restaurant and cafe phrases, survival phrases, and there are some common phrases that are both used in a restaurant and a coffee shop, and there are also phrases that are more specific to a restaurant and a cafe. So for example, phrases like, or words like here, sari. So sari means extra ingredients. Like there can be ramyeon sari, there can be goguma sari, things like that. But sari is a good example of a word that you will never learn before coming to Korea, because it's used everywhere in restaurants, but it's not like always introduced in textbooks. So yeah, stuff like that. Cafe, we use phrases like 진동벨, 음료 나오면 진동벨로 알려드릴게요. When your drink is ready, we will let you know through the pager. The pager or the beeper is 진동벨 in Korea. So those are some words that you will certainly encounter when you come to Korea. And of course, we teach you how to order food delivery, and also some essential phrases for transportation and things like that. Like, for example, this phrase, 잔액이 부족합니다. You might actually scan your card. You have your credit card or your T-money card, transportation card, and then you scan it in front of all these people, like 100 people, and then you hear the machine say 잔액이 부족합니다. But then you might have no idea what it means, but it actually means you have insufficient funds, so you have to either pay by cash or use another card. So if you keep just tapping, you will just keep saying 잔액이 부족합니다. 잔액이 부족합니다. 잔액이 부족합니다. So it's always better to understand those phrases because they are never in English. And yeah, so you can keep flipping through the pages like these and you can learn a lot of different words and expressions. Hair salon expressions, you might want to get a haircut, although it's a little relatively rare, but you know, hair salons in Korea are relatively good and you can get your hair dyed or cut, you know, some more specific hair salon expressions. You might want to go to the movies, you might want to go to a concert and buy tickets, of course, you need tickets to go to concerts. And banking, of course, mobile phones, on the phone, things that you can say on the phone, and when you receive or send packages, and also when you date someone or want to marry someone, if you've been here for a while, and also hospital. It's always better to not have to go to the hospital, but sometimes you might have some emergencies and it's always good to be able to deal with the situations without having to wait for somebody who can speak English for you. And career, school, hagwon, businesses, office situations, etc., etc. So this is our newest book, Survival Korean, and I believe this is going to be really useful for everybody coming to Korea or who is living in Korea already. So please check it out. You can get the book by following the link down below or clicking right here if you're watching this on YouTube, and I'll see you next time. 감사합니다.
There's some more loan words. Now we're into batim, which are final consonants in Korean. Same format as before. You get to practice writing these consonants as batim or final consonants. Unit 7 is double consonants. They sound similar to the single consonants, but if you look closely at the sounds like section,